USA! USA! All right, Donald Trump crashes out on Congress. I mean, he goes off on like a 2-hour freestyle, and I mean, he starts shooting from the hip. So we got ourselves a bingo card. Let's play some bingo with Donald Trump's crash out on Congress, yeah? I think that'll be fun. I'll move this over to the side for now. I do have a meeting at 15 minutes, so I might have to mute myself up, but still, we'll be here. USA! USA! He's got his wife. I think that's his kid to my right, their left. I appreciate it, Arma. Inspired by the Roach King himself, Hasman. How you doing this morning? Or I guess this evening, your time. I love that half the crowd is already like standing and cheering, and the other half's like, all right, can we get this over with? This is a rebroadcast. This happened late last night. I didn't realize it happened. So when I saw when I saw some of the clips this morning when I was checking Twitter, I was like, let me just go ahead. I'll go live, react to this before I have to go out and hit my accounts. There's Riley Gaines. A lot of Republican influencers.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And why is he gripping that mic like that?
Great honor. Thank you very much.
Hey, yo.
Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady.
And we're not going to watch all 10 hours of this. Literally, one half of the room stands up, the other one stays seated. What the hell is going on here? Can't we show some decorum and some respect? Even if it was Joe, you gotta show some respect, right?
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
These guys are going to get tired standing up and just clapping all night. They're going to do like 200 squats by the end of the night. They're already at like 5. USA! USA! Yeah, that's what I want my elected officials to be like, getting excited for the U.S. Feeling patriotic.
I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country.
Does this
count?
Accomplished
more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years, 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Nice. Nothing yet. I guess I got a free space.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back.
I definitely feel this. It's only been a month, but American confidence is at all-time high. Bigger than ever before?
The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback,
the likes
of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it.
We're playing bingo with all his comments. Maybe we can get a bingo.
The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
Does this count? Does this count? I think this counts. I think that counts.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Boo, Democrats. You have no right? Is that what he was pointing to? What's that old man saying? Literally, look at this. Half the room is up and clapping, and the other half is just sitting. What the heck? This gives me that same energy where it was like, I don't know what ethnicity it is, but they do the ooka-la-la, that kind of thing, and they all were doing that in Congress, and it was like, yo, I like seeing that pride in your culture. I fuck with it.
And one counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican. Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
I mean, I don't think he's wrong. He's trying to sit. He's like, God, my legs are getting tired already. Tom Holland, not Holland.
Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain
decorum. We're like 5 minutes into this.
In the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
He has no what?
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to
I want to hear what he has to say.
Restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
He said he has no business being here. I think he does. He, in fact, does. I've never actually seen you run for election, so maybe I'm speaking out of my mouth, but most Americans voted for Trump in. I hate for you to, to sit there with your machete-ass looking self. But go ahead, get yourself on out of here. I would like to hear his argument on why he doesn't like Trump, other than he's orange, has bad hair, and says mean things.
In willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
I wonder if they'll go back to him and figure out what was he going off about?
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected.
Okay, so this is I just found a video on this. Okay, so you say you have no mandate to cut Medicaid.
Making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care.
So he's talking about like health insurance with Medicare and Medicaid, and he's saying that Donald Trump has no business cutting that. But I don't think that's the fear. I think the idea of Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid are going towards people who are 160 plus years old, 200 years old, and we just know that those people don't exist, right? So they're eliminating a lot of the budget because a lot of the budget is being wasted sending out to dead people, which is just, in my opinion, money laundering. Somebody's getting that money. It's not going to some cemetery.
Me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
There's a lot of people watching this. I don't know if this number is real or not.
Many, that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many. And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it.
That's funny.
Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far
I think we got another
the
one.
lowest ever recorded, ever.
Not quite, but I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get right now.
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way.
That's what she
In
said.
comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history.
Oh,
there are
shit.
hundreds of thousands
We brought
of
up
illegal
Sleepy Joe.
crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me.
So is that every
and I
year he does one of
realize
these?
There is absolutely
Content,
nothing I
baby.
can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do.
Damn.
I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical
She's like, he's right.
achievements. They won't
Shit.
do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's
Oh, my
very
goodness.
sad. And
It
it
is.
just shouldn't be this way.
Even if you disagree with Trump, you don't like him, you should respect him. He is our president. Just like with Biden, right? You may not like the guy. He was the president. You got to respect his orders. He was the head of command. So now it's time to show the same level of
Democrats
respect.
sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
She not want America to be great? Why does she look so uncomfortable?
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
I know a lot of people are not going to like that, but I think that's short term, causing a lot of
terminated the
ruckus.
ridiculous
Long term, I
Green
think
New
will be good.
Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were
Ooh,
not paying.
trillions, not billions.
I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization.
That's a good one. Corrupt is, I would say, evil.
And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
I like all his adjectives.
We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
Honestly, I was doing a little research on like the
Shackle our
on the imp-
economy, I have
on your
directed that
question,
for
Arma,
every
last night
one new
about the
regulation,
25%
10
tariffs.
old regulations must be
But,
eliminated,
one second.
just like I did in my very successful first day.
Nice. So every one new regulation, he's going to dismantle 10. Got it.
And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations.
Hold on, I gotta-
like no
I got a
other
meeting for work.
President had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job. And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back. And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America. I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer. We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports. Three years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side, and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
You said RIP LGBT. I don't think most Americans have any problem with the L, the G, or the B. I think it's just the T. Sorry, that's how meetings should be. Nice, quick.
And if you really want to see
to
numbers,
the point.
just
Bam,
take
bam, bam.
a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman.
5
Broke
hours.
the record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're
It's
not
true.
going to put up with
It's true.
it any longer.
And I just think I have like two little sisters, and I can't imagine a dude at their age just so much bigger is trying to compete against them. No. In video games, sure. Shout out to Riley Gaines. She's a big reason all of this is
What I
happening.
just described is only a small fraction
What's
of
up,
the
Demon?
common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen.
Never go back.
Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Okay. Everything's too damn expensive. I agree. This is so lame. It's so funny. Half the crowd standing, half the crowd sitting, and in fact, they have just hater signs. Boo, you suck.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job. A major focus of our fight to
More
defeat
people getting kicked
inflation
out?
is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
Nice. That's a good thing. We need more. We need to be able to produce a lot more energy here instead of exporting all of it or importing all of it.
And
Excuse
frankly,
me.
we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
That's the team. That's the team name is Drill Baby Drill. Is their mascot like a little drill? Like Chainsaw Man, but with drills?
My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
Rare earths. We definitely need more of that, like cobalt, lithium, copper, all of the little minerals,
To combat
zinc.
inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but we'll be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
That's huge. That's huge with Doge. Just actually using the money that the government gets more efficiently and effectively.
And to that end,
How can you
I
be
have
against that?
created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. Perhaps-
Doge. Hey, at least Elon's wearing a tie this time. Good for him.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Oh, I love this guy. He's so funny to me. Look, even if you have special needs, you could, if somewhere on the spectrum, you could still be in there in Congress getting shot out by Trump.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already
Oh, he's good.
identified.
He's an actual
$22
comedian.
billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
Yeah, no, all right. Everyone, it seems like a lot of people took
This is
advantage
real.
of America.
$32
And,
million
and when I
for
say
a
people, I mean like
left-wing
governments,
propaganda
like
operation in
USAID,
Moldova.
and just
$10
sending money
million for
afar.
male
And now we're
circumcision in
prioritizing ourselves.
Mozambique. $20 million
People get mad at
for
that.
the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed
It blows my
over
mind. There's no
by a
teleprompter. He's
woman
just
named
riffing.
Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate
Guy looks like
developer,
Lex
he's done very
Luthor.
well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million
He has
for
this all
social
memorized.
and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. We know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education.
Oh, he's good.
The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the
I heard
Trump
China.
administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud. And we've taken
She's
back the
thinking
money
smash,
and reduced
let alone
our
him.
debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129.
This is where he's bringing up the Social Security that I brought up earlier in the video.
3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139.
That's
3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them, and we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does, and it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
That's good. That's good. Obviously, RFK, Bobby Kennedy.
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249.
Where are they?
And one person is listed at 360 years of age.
That's like older than America.
More than 100 years older than our country.
Yeah, it's like that's older than America. Look at him.
We're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
How can the other side sit down and not cheer for that? That's something that should be bipartisan. That's insane. It's sad to see.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
That's insane. David Sachs. He's in charge of our crypto, I believe.
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better,
I'm not mad at
more
it.
Sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So
You guys see what just came out on the
the
sleeve?
criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators.
I can't not
who
see
are
that
allowed
now.
to enter our country
Shit.
under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country. We will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
I bet he's getting rid of that now. We'll see.
Americans have
Nope.
given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt.
I forgot
Approvals
we had
that
Elon
should
Musk
take
down here.
10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
So lame. Lies! Fake news!
And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
They're all sudden, they're like, what did he say? He said, what? Can he do that?
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there, they're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax cuts.
Save Medicaid, and he's not getting rid of it.
Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
That's impressive. Start by paying your taxes.
And I also...
You're so stupid. That chick holding the sign up is so stupid. He himself may not need to pay taxes, but during all of his business deals, all of the transactions, all of that is getting taxed along the way, right? So it's not like this guy doesn't actually not pay any taxes. He just may not pay his tax, he himself, but his businesses definitely do, and he has to cover the tax or like health benefits for other employees that he has down the line. He's paying land property tax on Mar-a-Lago. Like, get out of here. Educate yourself a little bit more than just reading the first line of an article.
Want to make interest payments.
So she's not wrong. Pay your taxes. Trump may, as an individual, may not have to, but I assure you, all of the LLCs for sure do.
Car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
So frustrating. I do like seeing automotive work come back to America. That's cool.
By the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen.
Yeah.
Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America.
Honda is one of them.
Just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Nice. Nice. That's huge. That's great. That's great.
And this has taken place since our great
How can the
victory on
left not
November
stand
5th,
up for that?
A date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
True.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea. But that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States.
Business
it
is
never
business.
was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st. Want to be accused of April Fool's Day? That's not just one day.
I love the fact that that was in his mind. He's like, I can't do anything on April 1st because everyone's going to think it's April Fool's. So I guess we're going to have to do it on April 2nd.
Of course, it's a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick
What's up,
in.
Harsh?
And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
I've been working on
If
this,
they do non-monetary tariffs,
at least for the Canada and U.S. just to
keep
figure
us
out
out
what's
of their
going on.
market, then
We
will
make
do
up about
non-monetary
20% of their
barriers
business.
to keep them out of
They
our
make up
market.
2% of our
them, too.
business.
They don't even allow us in their market.
Will we fill a
We will
Canadian
take in
tariff?
trillions and
Yes.
trillions of dollars
Will
and
they
create
fill it
jobs
more?
like we have never seen
Absolutely.
before. I did it with China and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
You share this particular part where? In Discord?
Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Trump needs to understand that
They are, in
countries
effect,
are not as
receiving
dependent on the U.S. as he
subsidies of
thinks.
hundreds of
No,
billions of dollars.
they
We
are.
pay subsidies to
You are
Canada
wrong.
and to
No,
Mexico of hundreds
countries are
of
very
billions of
dependent on
dollars,
our
and the United
economy and
States
our
will
money
not be
and our
doing
military
that
defense.
any longer.
No,
We're
no,
not
no,
gonna
no,
do it
no.
any longer.
No, 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 no. The country, worlds are about to find
Thanks
out.
to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced
Scary companies.
$500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China.
That's huge.
And just yesterday, Taiwan,
Having Apple actually
Semiconductor,
build
the biggest
plants
in the world, most powerful in the world,
in America is
has a
huge.
tremendous amount, 97% of the market.
TSMC?
Announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on Earth right here in the USA.
That's huge. That's huge. That's actually insane.
And
Not
we're
gonna
giving
happen.
them any money. Your
What's not
CHIPS
gonna
Act
happen?
Is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving
chip
them
thing is true?
no money. All that was important
What's
to
not
them
true?
was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so
What-
they came
what
into
was fake
building, and
news?
many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money.
Everyone's coming.
We just want to
We're all
protect
coming.
our businesses and our people. And they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act and whatever's left over.
Oh, Apple
Mr.
Factory's
Speaker,
not
you
going to
should
happen.
Use it to reduce
Gotcha,
debt
gotcha.
or any other reason you want to.
Then what do you? What is Apple building here then? As I don't see how you could produce a phone in America for the cost.
Our new
I just
trade
don't.
policy will also be great for
See
the
that being
American
unrealistic.
farmer. I love the farmer.
Sounds nice.
Who will now be selling
Trump does
into our
indeed
home
love the
market,
farmers.
USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies. They're really, really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China. $50
Yeah,
billion
Apple will
of purchases,
build
and I said, just
semiconductors.
bear
I don't
with
think
me, and they
Apple's
did.
building the
They
semiconductors.
did.
I think
Probably have to
Taiwan
bear
is
with me
funding that.
again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too.
Hell
All
yeah.
gonna happen.
Apple did not. They built a design. Taiwan is king of semiconductors. That's why it was crazy for like the CEO of TSMC to come out and show love and praise and commit to building a factory in Phoenix.
We just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steel
Oh, I
worker,
agree, Kat. I agree, Kat.
fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job
Ain't that the
has
truth, Harsh?
allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole.
Damn,
and
they're
over the
busy.
years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So
Oh,
great job.
wow. Those some real human beings right there. That's awesome. That's good praise.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's a good family.
Thank you, Jeff.
Man's got a big heart.
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but
Yeah.
we're okay with that. It won't be much.
This is like, to me, Trump is taking he's like a coach coaching Rocky to get back into the ring, and America is Rocky, and America is like this defeated, fat, out of shape, bloated Rocky. And yes, there's getting conditioned, getting in shape, and especially getting ready for a fight. It doesn't feel good, right? It's a little uncomfortable. There's going to be times where it's hard, right? It's a little disruption, but long term, you're going to come out lean, mean, fighting machine, and you're going to be able to take down Drago and win it all.
No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us, very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She worked so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
I just want to take a minute to represent my wife. Nice pump and dump, Melania. Nice pump and dump.
Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as
Friday
they
is
enter the
going to be a
workforce.
big thing. It's going to be
Our
about
First Lady is
crypto.
joined
We
by
got to
two
tune in for
impressive
that.
young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much.
Is this to
John.
protect
John, thank you. Stand up, John.
people from AI
Thank you, John.
and deepfakes?
Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is a terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes
Deepfakes
the
are a big
House, I
problem?
look forward
Absolutely
to
they are.
signing that bill into law.
That guy
Thank
looks
you.
like he's holding back
And I'm
his
gonna use
shit.
that bill for myself too, if you don't mind.
Especially for girls and old
Because
people.
nobody gets treated worse
I
than I do
totally agree
online.
with you. So we have to be able to
That's
combat
great.
that.
Thank
It's
you
like
very much to the Senate. Thank you.
revenge porn or stuff like
But
that.
if we truly
Like
care about protecting
that's like civic
Americans'
sense,
children, no
like
step
raising it up,
is more
regulating
crucial than
it,
securing America's borders.
weeding
Over
that
the past
shit
4
out of
years,
society.
21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities
This is true.
all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
I know a lot of people have this interpretation of like immigrants coming over because they're looking for a better life. They're good people. The government where they're at sucks. They're being oppressed. But a lot of immigrants come to America because they're criminals and they see it as a free reign. It's like in-game loot. They're like, yo, I want that loot. I'm gonna go over there and break the laws there.
Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by
The
everybody,
illegals bring shame to
went out
the
for a
I
jog
mean they
on the
just
campus
tarnish
of
the
University of
reputation,
Georgia.
or they create a
That
stereotype
morning, Laken was
of
viciously
that culture or
attacked,
those people.
assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and
The Laken Riley
horrifically
thing hits
murdered.
hard because that's like Lo and I
Laken
were in
was
Athens.
stolen
We
from
lived
us
there.
by a
We
savage
lived where
illegal
this
alien
happened.
gang member
Not at the time,
who
but
was
still.
arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
That's how are these people sitting? How are there's a standing ovation. How is Democrats sitting during this? Like, this is tragic, man. Is she crying? Yeah, her sister and her daughter was taken from her. They were brutally murdered and
Lakin's
raped.
grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
Kat, I want to talk on that
It's
more.
called the Laken
As I don't
Riley
disagree.
Act. So Allison
I
and
disagree,
Lauren,
but
America
not
will
completely.
never ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley.
Gloria to
Thank
Shay.
you very much.
Jay.
Since
Jay?
taking
Jay
office,
Jinping?
my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
Trump's in, like, his face just cracks me up with his. I don't know what it is. His just facial expressions, demeanor,
media
tone
and our
is just so
friends in
funny.
The Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation.
actually a
we must
comedian.
have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Damn! Shots fired. Goddamn. There's-
Thank you.
What raid boss is that? What kind of raid boss is this? I've been playing Monster Hunter Wilds. I don't recognize these two. This must be like far end game in Monster Hunter. I'm still not completely at the end game, so these two have to be like end game creatures, right?
Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural
honest to
address,
God, I
we
think
are achieving
Trump
the
and China
great liberation of America.
have a better relationship than what most people think. Kind of like how Trump and Putin have a good relationship or a working diplomatic
still
relationship.
Is much
I just-
work to be done.
I do
Here
have a
tonight is
fear
woman I have gotten to know,
with China filling in the gaps where
Alexis
America's pulling out,
Nungari from
increasing
Houston.
their
Wonderful
their
woman. Last
global
June,
influence.
Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a
Guys,
nearby
chill and chat. I know what you
convenience
guys are
store.
thinking.
She was
Chill.
kidnapped, tied up, assaulted
Stop
for
gooning.
2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien
Trump
monsters
giving
from
money to
Venezuela,
Pakistan would be
released
problematic
into
for India.
America by the
When did
last
he do that?
administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family.
What I said was 100%
touched
true?
Our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised.
Sometimes
that
I
we
spit
would
facts.
always remember
Yeah,
your
that's what I'm
daughter,
saying.
your
That's like
magnificent daughter,
I
and
I
earlier
don't
tonight,
think
I signed
China will
an order
overtake America.
keeping
I'm a
my
little
word
biased,
to you.
but I definitely have a fear
One thing I've
of
learned
China's
about Jocelyn
influence
is that she
growing
loved
more
animals
as
so
we
much,
focus
she
on
loved nature.
developing ourselves.
Across
But
Galveston
nothing
Bay,
like
from where
I think
Jocelyn
we
lived
all
in
of us,
Houston,
me, you
you'll
included,
find a
have a hard
magnificent
time
national
really seeing
wildlife
long term what's going
refuge,
to happen with all of
a
these things
pristine,
happening
peaceful,
together, because none of this happens in a
34,000
vacuum.
acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the
Because
Gulf
like
of
as
America.
China's influence is growing,
Alexis, moments
we might
ago,
pick
I
up
formally
Canada
renamed that
and Greenland,
refuge
turn that into Trump land.
in loving
Like
memory of
America's
your
influence
beautiful
might
daughter,
also kind of
Jocelyn.
grow
So,
in a
Mr. Vice
weird way that we
President,
don't
if you
foresee.
would, may I have the order?
That's cool.
Thank you very much. All three savages
That just looks like a mom who wants her daughter back.
Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as
find out where the leaders are and
organizations.
turn them into pink dust.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them.
No, it is not.
Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy. In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande, near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me.
Cartel
when
Island.
Heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them. Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took, and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
Insane that the left won't stand up. Literally. They're just sitting there. It's like, yeah, we got to be here.
Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great, great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war on America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
Maybe that's why he's pulling so much emphasis out of Ukraine, because he's got to focus on the own war that we're about to have down south.
5 nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff
and the cartels
being imposed on them,
find out where the leaders are at,
handed over to us
and
29
turn them
of
into
the
pink
biggest
dust.
cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done. And
they're in our backyard. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and drugs
they're not. We don't need to focus on shit that's happening across the ocean. We got shit down south that's like on our border.
Funding request laying out exactly how
and then we got a really angry neighbor up north.
Protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it.
That chicken is hot. Yeah, that chicken is clucking.
As we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns. In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many
Points to them.
jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional
That's a
rule
fair
of law,
criticism.
starting at the FBI and
Well,
the
none of these are so far
DOJ.
hollow
Pam,
promises. These are all
good
like
luck.
promises that
Cash,
he's
wherever you may be, good
things
luck.
that he's been doing.
Good luck. Pam Bondi. Good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash.
Shout out Cash. That's a man you don't want to be on his enemy list.
They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic
What do you
job. You're
think
going to be very
things
proud
have
of them.
changed on ground?
We're also once again
What you
giving
mean?
our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous.
Like what do I think's
The problem
happened?
is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women
I live in
are
a pretty
unbelievable
good area,
people,
so
and we'll never
I
forget them.
don't fear for like crime
And
and
besides
whatnot.
that, they voted for me in
But I
record numbers,
definitely
so
have
I
noticed
can't-
a large sense of patriotism. Like a lot more people are just proud to be like America, USA.
1 year ago this month.
Is it fair to say that
31-year-old
Trump
New York
will
police
do
officer
50% of
Jonathan
what he's trying to
Dillon,
say right now?
unbelievably
I think
wonderful
he's going to
person
try to
and a
do
great
100% of it.
officer,
I don't know
was
how
gunned
much of it's
down
going to
at a
actually
traffic stop on
be
Long
completed.
Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had
You saw how
21
he was in
prior
his first
arrests,
term,
and they
but
were
he'll
rough
admit
arrests.
that in his first
He was
term,
a real
he
bad
didn't
one.
have the best
The
team
thug in
around
the
him.
seat next to him
This
had 14
it's
prior
not just
arrests
Trump, right? Trump
and
only
went
has
by
so
the
much
name of
power,
Killer. He
but it's
was
all
Killer.
the
He
people
killed other
around him.
people, they say, a lot of
Bobby,
them.
Tulsi,
I attended
Cash,
Officer
Vivek.
Diller's
Well, I guess
service,
Vivek
and
is now going to
when
be
I
an
met
Ohio governor, so
his
scratch
wife
Vivek.
and one-year-old son Ryan. It was
Saram,
very
the AI
inspirational,
guy.
actually.
Like it's the team
His
that
widow's
he's putting
name is
around
Stephanie,
him
and
are
she is here
great
tonight.
people.
Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie.
So like
Thank you very much.
Trump may be the head, like the CEO of Corporation America, but the employees that make up the different departments are outstanding. That's why I have so much faith. I think that's why most Americans have so much faith in this administration.
Stephanie, we're going to make sure that
May
Ryan
not like
knows his
everybody,
dad was a
right?
true
JD may
hero,
be my
New
least
York's
favorite,
finest,
but he's still
and
better
we're
than
going to get these
Tim
cold-blooded
Walz,
killers and
Kamala,
repeat offenders off our
Biden.
streets, and we're going to do it fast.
so many
Got to
others.
stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats.
Man says the China
We gotta get
allergy.
him
I
outta
love it.
here.
You know one thing I
I've
didn't
already
know?
signed an executive order requiring
Zelensky
a mandatory death penalty for anyone
has like
who
a
murders
personal
police
vendetta
officer.
against
And tonight I'm
Vance,
asking Congress to pass
which
that
makes so much
policy
sense
into
about that
permanent
debacle
law.
back and forth a few days ago. They actually have like multiple times where Zelensky has called out JD and doesn't like him. I didn't know that.
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting
I didn't
tough
know
on
that.
repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed.
Vance's face looks funny sometimes. Yeah.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
Nice. Oh, little man gives the heart. Oh, that's right, little man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But in 2018,
Little man's got the suit on and
DJ
everything.
was
Yeah, that's the
diagnosed with
kid.
brain
That's the kid who
cancer.
bit. Yeah,
The
he beat
doctors
it.
gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Hell yeah. I love you. Have a great day. I gotta roll out once I'm done with this. Yeah. Do your best. I love you.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make
Bro is a fighter.
his
Bro is the
dream come
definition
true,
of a
and
fighter.
DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Look at that. He said, damn. He said, oh, wait, hold on. I don't even got this shit. That's cool. That's, oh. That shit's gonna break my heart. He's like, when do I start? I'm getting teary-eyed.
Thank you, DJ.
He said, nah, I just want to do
DJ's
the
doctors
streets.
believe his cancer
He's like, I want to
likely
patrol the
came from
hood. I don't want to do
chemicals
that
he was
shit.
exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is
That's
one of
awesome.
the top
That's
priorities
cool.
for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Let's go. Let's go, Bobby. You want to talk a badass? This guy is an American in my opinion, is an American badass. There's Tulsi behind him.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody else.
That's the Secret Service now.
How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong, 1 in 36, think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
He's got a face of a villain from this guy. Bobby does. A little bit. I can see it.
My administration is also working to protect our children from
Unfortunately, he has the voice of
ideologies
one
in our
too.
schools. A few years ago, January Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly, socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Isn't that JD's wife next to her? Our left, her right.
Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology. I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
Huge.
And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie. And our message,
let them be 18 to
every
21
child
if
in
they want to make their own
America is that you are
decision.
perfect exactly the way God made you.
Oh, come on. How can you not stand behind that?
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military.
Trump's doing
and
good?
it's
Yeah.
already out,
Is he perfect?
and it's out of
No.
our
Has
society. We
he
don't
said
want
things
it.
that I disagree with?
Wokeness is
Absolutely.
trouble. wokeness
But
is bad.
I'll take the
It's
80%.
gone.
I'm not going to focus on
And
the
we feel
20%.
so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations.
Okay, being a queer and being transgender are two different things, Hirosh. I think I definitely will agree with you that there's some hermaphrodites in
And
the
he's not
world.
big into the woke movement, I can tell
But
you.
it's a very
I know him
small
well.
percentage of
I am
the
pleased to
entire
report that in
global
January,
population.
The U.S. Army had its single best
But I
recruiting month in
genuinely
15 years,
think
and that all
the
armed services are
transformer
having among
community
the
out
best
of the
recruiting results
LGTB
ever
has
in the
done more
history of our
harm for
services.
that
Why
actual
different?
group, the people who actually kind of have to deal with that.
And you know, it was
They just done more
a
harm
few
to
months
it.
ago
Because I think
when the
90,
results
80%
were
of them,
exactly
90%
the
of them
opposite.
are
We
just
couldn't
mentally ill
recruit
and
anywhere.
need
We couldn't recruit. Now we're
need
having
attention and
the
have
best
like a mental
results
disorder and have
just
attention,
about that we've
some
ever
type of
had.
attention
What a
insecurity.
tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country, and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing, and thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
And what's more, homo,
joined tonight
queer, different
by a
than
young man,
Transformers.
Jason
I
Hartley,
think we can
who
agree on
knows
that.
the weight of that Call of Duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say.
6
a
letters.
brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA.
That's insane.
And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S.
Let's see this
Military
kid.
Academy at West Point.
Let's see this kid. The suit does not do him favors. I think that's what this kid identifies as.
And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
That's cool. That's cool. I support your cat. Do whatever you want, bro. Oh, the 13. Oh, come on. The kid comes over and gives him a high five. That kid is awesome. That kid is awesome. Absolutely. Fuck yeah.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art
Hey, you're not alone, 'cause
Golden
that kid
Dome
that's
missile
going to
defense
West Point
shield
does
to
as well.
protect our homeland, all made in the USA. And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry
I
home
thought
to
I
America,
thought India
where
already
we used to
recognized the
make so
third
many
gender as
ships.
well.
We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very
Which-
fast, very soon.
I don't want to say that I
Will have a
disagree
huge
with,
impact. To further enhance our national security,
but it's like
my
male.
administration will be reclaiming the Panama
female,
Canal, and
open.
we've already started doing it. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal, and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple
Marco
of other
Rubio?
canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others
And
could
China
use it.
runs it now.
But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Wow. I'm curious to see what happens with that.
And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that, or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you.
That's cool. He's even look how Trump acknowledges all of this. Like, that's great. And Marco has matured. He's seemingly, every time I've seen him speak, has been great.
And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland.
Kat, I agree with you.
We strongly
Greenland.
support your right to determine your own future.
I agree with you, Kat. I
And
think
if you
we'll get
choose,
Panama.
we
I don't
welcome
think
you
we get
into
Trump
the United
land.
States of America. We need Greenland for
Resources.
national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get
It's not possible?
We need
Oh,
it really for
anything is
international
possible.
World security. And
Anything
I
is
think we're gonna get
possible.
it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land, and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice. And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well. Most
No,
of
it's
them.
just Gulf of
Those
America.
children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements.
Half is clapping,
in
half is not.
generations, the
Half is
Abraham
right wing and
Accords.
half is left wing. Can you tell which side is which? Obviously, this is the right side. Not right or wrong, but like this is the Republican side. little man, the 13-year-old kid,
And
he's
now we're going
he's
to
my
build on
favorite
that
part of this so
foundation
far.
to create a more
He's just
peaceful and
great
prosperous
energy.
future
He
for
was
the
like
entire region. A lot
Secret
of things
Service.
are happening in the Middle East. People
I'm
have
an
been
agent,
talking
man.
about that so much
I'm an agent.
lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
Trump, Modi, melodies. I know Modi and likes melodies. Also, Macron.
keep it going
Is
for another
Macron
5
right
years?
or no?
Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Elizabeth Warren shaking as she's clapping.
Every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans. But I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has
It's
sadly
cool when
spent
Trump
more money
talks
buying
about,
Russian oil and
maybe not
gas
cool is the
than
word.
they have
I
spent
I
on
like
defending
when
Ukraine
Trump talks
by
about
far. Think of
Ukraine,
that.
Russia, the
They've
war going
spent
on.
more
He doesn't
buying
talk about
Russian
Putin or
oil and gas
Zelensky. He
than
talks
they
about the
have
people
defending.
and how they're
And
unnecessarily
we've
dying.
spent perhaps $350 billion
Macron is an intelligent
like
leader, but
taking
mellow.
candy from a baby. That's
I haven't
what
seen
happened.
enough of him, but the
And
stuff
they've
that I've
spent
recently seen, I kind of like
$100
it.
billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us.
Though
and
I
they
think
don't.
his wife may be a
But
dude.
we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by
Not that
billions
I'm
and billions
casting
of
too much
dollars. It's hard
judgment.
to believe that
Just-
they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible
Huh.
to bring lasting
Oh, now
peace
they are.
closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and
I
independence.
don't think they do.
Regarding the
At least not
agreement on
enough.
minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent.
Trump should
this
go
letter.
back
I
in.
started a little while ago.
Trump should go back to that
Simultaneously, we've had serious
mineral deal and say,
discussions
okay,
with Russia
because of all the
and have
hiccup, we're
received
doubling
strong
it. You
signals
you
that
owe
they
us
are
double,
ready
we'll
for
pay you the
peace.
same, but
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
now
Wouldn't
you
that
owe
be
us $1
beautiful?
trillion in minerals.
Wouldn't that be beautiful? It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end this senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising
True.
tensions,
I think both sides are
a
gonna have to
history teacher
compromise.
named Mark
Both
Fogel
sides are gonna have to
was
give up shit
detained
that
in
they don't want to
Russia
give up.
and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight.
That's cool. Like all of this just should just make you feel good. This war is gonna keep going if they won't talk. And it eventually, if it perpetually goes, it ends with Ukraine losing. Right? Like there's no way that they can win.
To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us.
But
As
this
fate
war
would
did
have
make
it,
Russia
Mark
kind of look like a
Fogel
paper
was
tiger.
born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I...
That's how he talks about his assassination. Was it
right
pleasant?
Before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick...
Yeah, but EU said they're only going to come with support if America is a part of the deal. Like France and Germany said that they would send 30,000 people, but America has to like fund it.
But some
it's
were
like
not so lucky.
you guys can't even send 30,000 people of your own. Like
was
you
a
guys can't
firefighter,
deploy
a
that on your
veteran, a
own.
Christian, a husband, a devoted father.
Shows how weak the
and above
EU
all,
actually is,
a
and how
protector.
much reliance on
When the
America
sound
there
of
actually
gunshots
is.
pierced the air. It was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit
I know you are a
really
U.S.
hard.
citizen. I honestly, I don't know where I
You know the
stand with the
story from
Ukrainian
there. He
conflict
sacrificed his
because
life
I
to
understand
save
Russia
theirs.
invaded Ukraine and
Two
everyone's
others
mad at
very
Russia
fine
for
people
being
were also
invaders.
seriously hit.
But if we could take a step
But
back,
thankfully, with the
look
help
at
of
it
two great
like just
country doctors,
logically,
thought
a
they
lot
were
of
gone and they were
promises
saved. So
from
those
NATO
doctors
to
had great
Russia
talent.
were broken.
Were
NATO
joined
constantly
by
growing
Corey's wife,
more
Helen,
powerful,
who
taking
was
more
his high
land,
school sweetheart,
circling
and their
Russia.
two beloved daughters,
So
Alliston and
Russia
Kaylee.
has to retaliate,
Thank you.
right? So it's like, is that fair, Kat? Is that a fair assessment? Like, Ukraine's mad at Russia because Russia's breaking promises, but Russia's looking at NATO and the UN for quite literally the same thing, and they're like, how are they not the bad guys too? And I view NATO and UN kind of in a negative light.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his three beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country
Arma, I
more
believe Russia
majestic
wants
than
like
ever before.
Georgia,
I
maybe
believe
countries
that
like
my life
Lithuania
was
that were a
saved that
part of
day
the
in Butler
USSR
for
or
a very
the
good
original
reason.
Soviet Union
I was
before it
saved by God to make
broke
America
apart and
great
collapsed.
again. I believe that.
Right? Like, I try to do my own research. I actually try to like go out and learn and try to get a better viewpoint. Not a better viewpoint, just a wider viewpoint. I try to listen to the right and the left, and then I try to land somewhere in the
Thank you
middle.
very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers.
I don't know if I
made the most
completely believe
extraordinary
that,
sacrifices, and did whatever it took
Kat,
to
but you
defend
may
our
not be
children,
wrong.
our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence
And it's like
us,
also
break
before
us,
the war,
destroy us,
no one looked at
Americans are
Ukraine
today a
and thought
proud,
that of
free,
like a very
sovereign, and independent nation
democratic, non-corrupt
will
place. It was like the
always
most
be
corrupt
free,
country in all of Europe.
And we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a
Hell
vast
yeah.
ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the
Yeah, I know
skylines of
you're
our
not a
cities.
supporter. You're
These
speaking
warriors
facts.
who shed their
You're speaking
blood
your opinions.
on
I hear
fields
you.
of battle and gave everything they had for our rights.
You're also just
and for
providing a
our
different
freedom.
light, because most people look
Now
at,
it is
or
our
at least
time
here in
to
the
take
West,
up
most
the
people do
righteous
look at
cause of
Russia,
American
Ukraine,
liberty.
and just go,
And it is
Russia
our
bad,
turn to take
Ukraine
America's
good.
destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to
You know,
lead
Arma,
this nation
I
even
actually
higher,
disagree with you on this
and
one,
we are
because if you
going
look at
to
Rome and the Roman
forge the
Empire,
freest,
that was
most
kind of their
advanced, most
blueprint, was
dynamic,
capture a
and most
country,
dominant
turn that country
civilization
into their
ever to
civilians,
exist on the face
give them
of
their
this earth.
benefits, and it
We're
kind of
going
worked
to
out.
create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we're going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
It really is just half the room.
And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
The chick in the bag just fighting. Just... Yeah, to me, a lot of Europeans tend to have this like tall poppy syndrome, where it's like they don't want to stand out in the crowd, right? Because like the tall poppy gets its head whacked.
The golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like
At least in like
nothing that has ever
England,
been seen
France, Spain.
before. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America.
Europe's problem is the world's problem. The world's problems are not Europe's problem. Jay Shankar, that's actually so true. That's actually so true. I'm not gonna lie. This was super impressive. For Trump just to go off and rip for 90 minutes is insane. Is he gonna keep going? Or is that it? I think this is it. I think we're winding down. Everyone's getting up and leaving. Yeah. Wow. Okay. No, this was super impressive. This was super impressive. I think the 13-year-old boy beat cancer, being awarded a Secret Service agent. Like, I think that's cool. The kid getting accepted into the West Point College. I like that. I think this was great. This was great. But what I want to know, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know in the chat. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to shut the stream down. I'm going to get ready, shower, go to work. When I come back tonight, we stream it tonight. We got to watch some videos and some reaction content on everything that happened tonight during this. Because today and through the rest of the week, America's getting new patch updates daily like it's a freaking video game. And this DLC that's coming is insane. Trump is officially the longest speech given in any president in U.S. history. I mean, the dude can yap. As somebody who spends a lot of time yapping on the internet, I admire Trump's ability to yap. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, then please like the video, subscribe, and if you really like it, then share it with some of your friends. My goal here is to spread a positive message while sprinkling my 2 cents on big topics like American, Indian, and world geopolitics, and even small stuff like Twitch drama and online debacles. And if you want to see it live, come join me over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/ActuallyElrod. That's where I'm going to do all my reactions, and after the reactions, that's where we get down a game. And if you're like, hey, I have a video that I want this dude to sprinkle his 2 cents on, then come over on my Discord and let me know and join the community there. And while we're at it, I have to say thank you to everybody who has made that Discord just so poppin'. I never thought I'd have a Discord that's so flowing. It's really cool to see. Shout out to you, Bobby, Omni, Demon, all of you who have been in there who are just super active. Logie, you're the man. Logie is the one who's like modding and helping run the server, so thank you, Logie. Lastly, I challenge you. I have a challenge for you. Make somebody laugh today. We all know there's enough hate and vitriol in the world. If energy is contagious like the flu, then let's spread and get everyone contagious with our positive energy, right? Not negative energy, because there's so much of that. And if we could just be a small little change in someone's day, then you never know. Maybe that's the thing that starts shifting this world to a happier, healthier, just better place. And with all of that said and done, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.